Hello again, anyone tuning into this here transmission. It is I, the host, Zycon Ebb and Flow. Still loving it, still living it, still being it, still doing it. It's another episode of Iris of Our Eye. This is 41, 41, I believe, and I'm sitting down with True JD. I met this artist on Threads, and you're gonna hear me say that a lot in the coming weeks, months, years. I'm sure because it's one of the best places that I found to find people to talk to and interview for art of all different types and varieties. Specifically, JD or True is a rapper, musician, and besides that, this is our first like face to face conversation. I don't actually know that much about the man. I know he is local to the Bakersfield, California area. I don't even know if that's his hometown. Is it?
No, actually, my hometown is Kokomo, Indiana.
There you go. He's actually a secret Midwesterner.
Yeah,
I'm not from California either. I'm a transplant, so I'm not beguiling you or talking like looking down on you or any dumb shit like that. It's just fucking facts are facts, you know.
yeah, I get it, I get it.
Right on, right on. So, let's just first question that I like to start with. Oh man, I don't know. Maybe it's just my computer, but the your fucking your, like video is just like lagging out there for a second. But what is art to you?
Well, art to me is expression. So, like, just expressing yourself and however you feel in that moment, just
Mm,
creative flow. I would say a lot of creativity. And art is just personal. Art is
mm,
something that will get you through the day. But also it could turn up a party, but it could
mm,
also have a meaning behind it to where it impacts 100 million people. This
mm,
art is one of the pillars of our community, really. So
yeah, yeah, I agree. Culture, humanity.
yeah.
I'm curious. When in your life, like you started to describe yourself as an artist, or like what brought you to making music? And I guess even before, reel that in half for half a second. Like, oh shit, was the question? God damn it, this is so frustrating. I'm trying to keep it together. What if there's any other types of art that you make? And yeah, yeah, that one first. Is there anything else that you do, and if there's anything else you want to say as an introduction before we get into the deeper questions?
Okay, one thing that I do that I haven't brought up is that I stream on Twitch. I don't know if you've seen that on my profile. I'm also a
I
Twitch
didn't.
streamer. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm also a Twitch streamer. So you can follow me, true underscore JDN
Mm-hmm.
on Twitch and on Instagram. So yeah,
Nice.
I like
What do
to
you?
do
What do you?
I like to play
No, I was just gonna say.
games. Yeah, I like
Okay.
to play games on Twitch. I like to make music on Twitch. I've actually brought a couple guests. One of the songs that's gonna be on Made in America was actually
Mm-hmm.
made live on Twitch. So
Oh shit! Nice.
yeah, so we got a little motion in the city, not too crazy, but
Mm-hmm.
we got a little motion, and it's gonna be on the project. We made a pretty solid song for you guys, and we just can't wait for people to hear it.
Absolutely. I'm definitely going to listen to it when it comes out. I'll just set a reminder for myself because like fucking there's just so much shit in the world happening and going on. You know.
Yes, there's a lot of shit in the world happening.
It's wild, wild time. Best and slash worst time to be alive as a person, maybe. But
Yeah.
to the fucking questions that I tried to recall. Yeah, how did you? What was your inciting incident? If I could use the literary term, like how did you like come to art as uh, a fucking arena of life? I guess.
Okay. Well, it's kind of personal for me. I moved
Mm-hmm.
to Bakersfield in around like 2019 for family reasons, and one of the
Mm-hmm.
ways that I like coped with the moving, the what do you call it, the transition from
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying, having all my friends to being all by myself. Well, not necessarily all by myself, but just like with my family
Hmm.
and not necessarily knowing that many people in the city. I felt like
Right.
music was a way for me to express myself without having, without having that community. And then
Yeah.
music built that community for me. So when I say it built that community for me, when I started performing, going to open mics, that's where I met some of these artists that I've collaborated with, and we've created, real relationships. And that comes
Hmm.
all through the music. So music
Sure.
has a very, very big like implications in my life, and that's what I love to do. And really, how I started was just coping. Just I needed something to do. I was just always just sitting around doing nothing, smoking. And every time I
Hmm.
smoked, I would freestyle.
Sure.
And so I was like, if I'm gonna do this, I might as well just take it serious. And so that's when I started dropping little EPs here and there. And then my first actual project was called "Ignorant Shit You Need Some Context." So
Sure.
yeah. So it was
Thank you
just
for
some ignorant shit at the time. You know what I'm saying?
right. Yeah.
So that's what
Yeah,
it
but
is.
well, now we have context, right? Like it
Yeah,
all fucking comes full circle.
it all comes full circle. Yeah.
It all comes full circle. Beautiful, beautiful. So had that because you had said that the community finding the community in Bakersfield through the open mics that was in 2019, and then when was the actual start, I guess, of like when you started like smoking weed and like freestyling.
That was way back in Indiana. So that was, I want to say, high school. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Just being around the lunch table, everybody say they couple bars. That's when I really, got into it. And then one of my
Mm-hmm.
good friends, one of my really, really good friends, he was. I always saw him as a better rapper than me, and he never really
Mm-hmm.
took it serious. So I always taught myself, I'm gonna take it serious, and then one day, what I'm saying, I might be able to come back and get my friends, pick them up, put them on a
Mm-hmm.
a, a platform the way I'm on a platform. So that's kind
Sure.
of like the goal, the end goal. But
Yep.
yeah, that's kind of what inspired me from like a young kid because I'm actually how do you say it? A PK, so like a preacher's kid.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I was growing up, making music kind of was frowned on, but I don't know. Throughout the years and throughout the times, like my parents seeing me grow as a person and as an
Mm-hmm.
artist, they've come to like accept what I got going on for myself. So I think that's a plus. Um,
Definitely.
it's just it's just a lot of things that just that go on with the art. It's just a lot of things that come with it. Everybody's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
gonna see it as like see it the way you see it, because it's a
Mm-hmm.
risk at the end of the day. So to take it seriously, it's a risk. You might not make it. So, and some people will definitely put that risk in front of your face, full front. Like, are you sure you want to do this? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and you just got to tell them, like, I'm not cold. You know what I'm saying? People got to hear what I gotta say, man. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing a disservice to my fans if I'm not putting my
Mm-hmm.
best foot forward. So yeah, that's what motivates me at the end of the day.
Nice. Nice. Yeah. There was definitely a lot in what you had said. I think first I want to, I guess, mirror and amplify, agree with what you had said about like finding people through open mics and stuff,
Hmm.
or just like art in general is such a like building like relationship thing can be such a cornerstone for the experience of like being in a new place and like not knowing anyone,
Yeah.
because that's something I know people struggle with, or you can struggle with in your life, if especially if you're moving across the country or like just going to a fucking new city where you don't know anybody. Just like if you don't have a like just robust, distinct personality and like know that you can like go to a fucking like jujitsu gym or fucking yeah like music, whatever, like comedy shows, like if you just go to places and talk to people that have of similar interests, you'll eventually like run into like people you vibe with.
Hmm.
uh and I met the last person I just interviewed from episode 40, Cam Shells, through at an open mic. It's just to hammer home the point of my own fucking whatever rhetorical thing I'm talking about. And then the thing you had said about being a PK. I'm just curious, was it the type of music you were making? Because I am under the impression from hearing a bunch of fucking country stars talk about fucking like starting out in fucking churches that like there is a some type of like venue in church to like express musically, but if it's not that right like gospel-y genre,
Yeah,
is it like
if it's not
pushed out?
gospel, then it's
Yeah,
not for them, you know? And that's
sure.
really one of the reasons why I didn't become a gospel artist is because even if
Mm,
you do become a gospel artist, they really like to like tear down the people who come up, you know? Because
sure.
everything is of the world to them. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Even if it's your life, something that you've been through, something that you're expressing, it's still,
mm,
of the world in a sense. So
mm,
I just, you know what I'm saying, just put that to the side when I make my music because I just want to express myself how I'm feeling in that moment. You know what I'm saying? Not
mm,
necessarily worrying about if this is gonna come off wrong to certain people or if this is gonna get misconstrued or something like that. I try not to worry about that because then that kind of puts me in a box, and I don't want to be
sure.
into that creative box. I want to be outside the box. I want to create music for everybody, and I
Mm,
want everybody to be able to vibe, no matter what type of background you come from. Even if we disagree on certain topics, at the end of the day, we could still vibe together. It's all about
yeah.
love. So that's
Mm,
that's what I be
yeah.
preaching.
Absolutely. There you go. Fucking you preacher's kid, damn it. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
The fuck is it? There's a concept. I don't know if you're familiar with it from the EDM scene, which is not my scene, but a friend of mine that I met making sandals at a job that I had. He was telling me about plur. It's like peace, love, unity, and respect,
Mm.
and that's like, I think that's those four things like melded together into that word is like basically like can if you just like move with those things, you're probably like on the right track as
Yeah.
a human being.
Yeah. I feel that.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So here we are. Where to go? I guess this is where moving around it here. And this is something and recently I got to be finally like interviewed on someone else's show for the first time, and he had like kind of was just like on this like bent about criticism. So in that yeah being like trapped in a genre or in a box, like how do you deal with the less than constructive criticism, because that was not something I had the chance or somehow forgot to bring that up, the difference between those two things of constructive versus like just fucking like critical criticism. Like how do you
Yeah.
as an artist yourself?
When I first started posting my Twitch streams on TikTok, I was making music, and I definitely, you'll get some people that's like, oh, you're doing pretty good. Here's some tips that you can get a little bit better. I love
Mm-hmm.
those
Mm-hmm.
comments. But then you also have those comments that are just trolling. It's like, oh, pack it up, big bro. This is not for you. And it's like, wow, if you only knew what I had, you know what I'm saying? You're just judging me off of one little video, one 30-second clip. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, trolls run the internet, so you can't really get around them.
Right.
So
Yep.
it's just something you just gotta endure. You just gotta have tough skin. As an artist, not everybody's gonna like your music, so you're just gonna
Mm.
have tough skin. That's just something that I've learned, and I just hope other people learn that too. So
Yeah, no, definitely. There's a like you just gotta go over them. Like if trolls are the troll toll or they're under
yeah,
the bridge,
we're
like
under
you
bridge.
fucking you pay the troll toll and you fucking get over the other side and you're like look back and you're like, man, dude, fuck that guy. Like whatever.
Yeah, yeah, I
Fucking,
definitely,
I made it to where I was going. Fucking thanks for fucking making me stronger or whatever.
yeah.
Fucking the adversity. Yep. Fucking hey man. I just what do you I'm just curious if there's anything that comes to your mind specifically. Like do you feel like there was like a like the best criticism you ever you could like you got that you were like, oh yeah, shit, like fuck, I can't improve in that way, and like they have you.
My little cousin, he would always tell me to take my songs after I finished making them and go to a
Mhm,
professional studio and like re-record it. And once I
mhm,
started doing that, I did see some more success in like the way that people were vibing with the music because, you
mhm,
know, when you're just doing it by yourself, you can kind of get blinded by
mhm,
like what you want song to sound like, and you can't
mhm,
hear what it actually sounds like, you know? And
mhm.
having
Yeah.
that third party person come in and like, okay, I hear what you're trying to go for, and I also can hear like the consumer side, so what they're actually hearing. So that's why I
Right.
like working with outside people. That's one of the things that like criticisms, because at first I wanted to do everything in house. I don't know if it was
Mhm,
my pride or anything, but I just wanted to do everything from the home studio. But I
mhm.
realized, you're gonna have to collaborate with like audio engineers eventually. So
Sure.
once I started doing that, it kind of really changed, um, how I made music and my whole music process. So
Right. Right. No, that makes sense. Totally makes sense. Well, like maybe like a month ago, I don't even know how long it was now, but I was like trying to like sit down and actually like make the more of the like instrumental percussive side of like for a beat that for one for like the mixtape that I'm trying to put out before I move to Hawaii or go to Hawaii for the first time, and I would just like spend like all day because one of the people who was like living at the house at the time had told me like, hey, like there's this thing that could happen to you if you just like listen to the same thing over and over and over all day. Like it can fuck with your ears and like it'll like start to hurt you. Like
yeah,
watch the fuck out for that. And I was like, nah, there's no way. Like I'm fine.
no, yeah,
And then
it
I like
definitely
did
happens.
yeah the ear exhaustion or something I think he called it, and it just was like fuck dude, like he was right, and that's just some shit to like I don't even know why the fuck I brought that up, but it's just I guess for to the point of like other people can give you good information, or the idea that like smart people learn from their own mistakes and wise people learn from other people's mistakes.
Hmm.
And there's an element to me as a person, and this like in a podcast thing of just like trying to have to give people the fucking knowledge and tools for like I'm hoping at some point that like aspiring artists or just people in general who are just like living their life chasing their dreams like see these and like listen to these and are like fuck yeah, that was insightful, helpful, and like helped impact and change their life for the better. I don't know if that's anything that I have a feeling like as an artist, since you're someone chasing your dreams, that that's like that's a thing you could like see and agree with.
Yeah, yeah, I could definitely see that. Like anybody who's coming up wondering if it's the right move to chase your dream, I would say definitely when don't wait till you're too old and then you have too many responsibilities for you can't even consider chasing your dreams. Start chasing your dreams while you're young, and then when you're old, that those responsibilities will come, but you'll be a lot more prepared because you'll have a lot of experience in the thing
Mm-hmm.
that you want to do. So there'll be a lot more options. That's what I've done.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's selling T-shirts with my brand on it or something like that. Other ways to fulfill those responsibilities that I have in real life because those real life bills, they're not going away. So if you're
Right.
young
Yep.
and you have like the what is it, the privilege of not necessarily worrying about that many responsibilities, I would say
Mm-hmm.
chase your dreams right then and there
Mm-hmm.
because those responsibilities are eventually going to hit you. And that's when it becomes hard and people lose, faith. So yeah, that's my little
No.
message.
Agreed. Thousand, 1100, 11,000 bajillion% billion majillion. The thing that come to mind that this is re-jogging because I had wanted to say it, but you just like I I legitimately just try to like listen to people as they're talking to me. So like listen, but then also try to remember what the fuck you want to say is a very difficult thing to juggle. But
Yeah.
the point being that it's a Jim quote from Jim Carrey. He's not late, but he's still great. The idea that like you can fail at something you hate, so like you might as well like this is pretty close to verbatim, like so you might as well risk like making it doing something you love and enjoy.
Hmm.
And I just think that's like, I think those are words to live by. That like, because you had earlier had mentioned like the risk. It's like you either you're gonna like life is like a risky game, risky business, no matter
Yeah,
what the fuck you do.
exactly.
Um, so like you, if you, yeah, failing, like if you, like if you're, everyone around you's like, yo, like become a doctor or like become a lawyer or become an accountant, and then you like you fail at that, and that wasn't even the thing you wanted to fucking do. You're gonna fucking hate yourself even more versus like if you then, but then you made it doing the thing you wanted to do. Like even if you
Yeah,
wanted to be a fucking janitor, and that's like what makes you happy, like then by all means, and you can be quote unquote successful.
yeah.
So maybe that's a good idea to transition to here. What is how do you define success as like an artist or just like as a person?
Um, just being able to take care of my responsibilities at the end of the day. Uh,
Hmm.
if I can do what I need to do and still make music at the end of the day, then I feel like I'm being successful.
Hmm.
And I feel like that's a great way to think because sometimes if you view your success off of views or like engagement,
Hmm.
that views and engagement aren't always going to be consistently there. And just
Hmm.
because you don't have the views and engagement right now doesn't mean that you're not moving towards success, you know?
Hmm.
So that's
Hmm.
not, I try not to look at those as success meters. They are something
Hmm.
that I am concerned with, but I try not to, give them too much power in my life because I feel like if you stress too much on, oh man, like my streams are low or like nobody's hearing my music, but every song you're making, you're getting better. You're making a better song. You're making a better song. And those people who are listening to your music are staying with you. You're not like a lot of people don't like think of that. So if you have like 100 people a week or 500 people a week, those 500 people decided to listen to your song,
Hmm.
So you
Right.
just got to look at it like that, not look at it like, oh, I only have this amount or X amount of people listening to my shit, so I'm not successful. I try not to look at it like that.
Sure. Definitely. Yeah. Comparison's the thief of joy. So like if you're looking at somebody who's further along in their journey than you are, then you're definitely gonna get downtrodden and like dispirited or dissuaded from continuing. And it's about who you were yesterday and who you're showing up to as today and making sure you have an eye on the horizon and are like looking at things that you want to do in the future and then like allowing through the processes of thing you're doing day to day to get you there one step at a time.
Hmm.
um right, definitely success, definitely uh de not deconstructing but like de-associating it from the numbers so much of views or money in a bank account is a wise way of looking at it. There's principles or yeah, like books you can read about things like this, or if you learn about like the mindset of people who are already successful, that they're more curious about or interested in the process versus like the product of like the end goal. While it
Hmm.
is necessary to like fuel you with the fucking like desire, um, but like you gotta like enjoy what you're doing every day and have that like I guess it would be like a difference between like the honeymoon phase of a relationship and like the nitty gritty mundane everyday I gotta make oatmeal for the kids again, like love of just like you just gotta fucking enjoy the everything that you do every day because that's what you're gonna have to do every fucking day. Eat, shit, sleep, like you gotta do those things to be a well-grounded normal human being, healthy. And I guess for a question for you would more or less be what are some like routines or things that you do for your like mental, emotional, spiritual, physical like well-being that you think are like important? not just, I guess, only creatively, just like in general? Like, what do you feel like you do that you're like, yeah, this makes me well?
Mm. Making music is definitely one. So
Mm-hmm.
that's definitely like an outlet. If I'm feeling any type of feeling, I feel like that's definitely an outlet for me to get into the booth and explain to people how I feel in that moment. Another thing is just to pray, man. Just have one-on-one time with whoever you believe in, and that takes you a long way. I feel like there's energy that you put out into the universe, and praying is a way to receive that energy back. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, that's what I do when I'm down and out. I'll just, pray real quick, try to center myself. If my mental
Mm-hmm.
health isn't right in a certain day, that's just the first thing I'll probably turn to. And then the second thing I'll turn to is probably the music. And then after that, it's maybe like exercise, or I might smoke a blunt or something like that. So,
Sure. Use some medicine, if
yes,
you will.
sir.
For the people, if you know, you know. It's not all just drugs. That's a very not loaded term, but it's very like programmed language to make you fucking think that things that are good for you in moderation
Hmm.
are just have no medical benefit, even though the government has all the patents for all the fucking
Yeah.
all of the good parts of marijuana, which is just like, oh man, that was such a fucking mind fuck when I learned that shit, and eventually in my life, it's just ugh, ugh. All right, let's see. So you have the new album coming out, growing up in America,
No, made in America.
made in America. What are your like? What are you like hoping will, if there's like a miraculous outcome you could have from the release, or just in general? Like, are you looking to go on tour, or just more networking? Like, what's your
Just
what
networking.
do you?
So just like introducing myself to um it's really like a reintroduction to my audience. So I know
Mm-hmm.
I have a couple projects that I've previously released, but I feel like before I was in a creative state of not knowing whether um I liked my music or not. You know what I'm saying? Other people
Mm-hmm.
would like my music and it's cool, but like, did I fuck with the vibe that I was putting out to the world?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I really like this Made in America, because I can honestly say that this is one of my favorite albums that I've created. So
Mm-hmm.
if nobody likes it, at the end of the day, I'm still gonna be my number one fan. I'm gonna be bumping it first day, So that's something that I can take, and just in case somebody does, the internet trolls do come and try to mess up my day. I'm
Mm-hmm.
standing firm on it. I like the music, so the way that it's produced, the tracks that I chose, I think it's a really cohesive project, and
Mm-hmm.
it explains what I've been going through and how I see the world.
Right. That's beautiful, man. That's fucking absolutely spectacular. I feel like that's basically what I did for my first album, and maybe the second one was just more of just like fucking expressing my views on some shit, and also just yeah, definitely expressing my views about some shit for sure. I think one thing that I wanted to speak to about the trolls is that like if you wouldn't trade places with them, first off, you got to make sure they're even fucking real. The internet
Yeah,
has a lot of fucking bots and fake shit, so you got to make sure you're dealing with a real like soulful like real ass genuine person on the
yeah,
other side of the screen. First off, and then second is like if you wouldn't trade places with them, or if like yeah, like I stopped paying attention to the advice and shit that my parents were saying because like they didn't their marriages fell apart. They were like kind of felt like went broke, and I'm just like, why, if this is like, if you're like, I love you guys, thank you for creating me and giving birth to me, I'm your progeny, but like you aren't like role models in the way that I want to live my life and like
hmm,
experience being alive. So like I think I need to like kind of like distance myself and go do my own thing and like
yeah,
figure my go on my own hero journey basically. So there, that's for me personally how I kind of like deal with unwarranted or unsolicited criticism slash advice about anything in life. It's like, who the fuck are you? And like, you don't know me. And
Yeah.
like, I'll hear it. I'll take it on the chin. Like this one guy, he called me a dick because I made a joke about him when I was like hosting a fucking show for my friend one time,
Mhm.
and like everybody else was like, "Nah, bro, you're good." Like he's just fucking butthurt that you fucking made fun of him, and I was like tripping on mushrooms, so I like really took it, and I was like, "Oh shit!" Like, does everybody hate me? Like, am I a dick? Like, fuck.
Yeah.
And it was like, "Nah, bro, you're good." Like, calm down. Whew. But I guess maybe this is kind of like a more specific thing or question around the goals that's coming to my brain is like, well, where do you see yourself in like a year from now, 5 years from now? Like, what are you aiming for after Made in America or just in general in your life?
Well, eventually I want to go on tour, you know. I've been doing a lot of open mics, but I have had the opportunity to go on tour, but I had to pass it up because
Hmm.
the label that wanted to sign me wanted
Hmm.
100% ownership of my music. So, yeah,
No, no way.
so I couldn't give that up. But I'm
Yeah.
still looking for, maybe like somebody to go on tour with, or just
Hmm.
somebody who, fucks with my vibe, thinks that my vibe is something that can reach the masses. So
Hmm.
that's why I said Made in America is kind of like a reintroduction, because I want to
Hmm.
reintroduce myself to people because they might not have
Hmm.
heard, or they might have heard and forgot, you know what I'm saying? But,
Sure.
I'm here and I want you to, you know, vibe with me.
Yeah,
So,
dude. I fucking here.
yeah.
I'm here, and I entertain you or fucking teach you some shit. I don't know. That might be more of my fucking my archetypes. But
Mm,
I guess is there this is because this is something that I struggle with because I'm a very multidimensional artist slash person that just like I try to like, interweave a lot of like different themes or ideas as or in like entendres or just like fucking as much fucking smart, funny, cool, interesting shit as I can into the fucking music, whatever I'm making, basically.
yeah.
So I'm just curious, like, what do you feel like are like the things like when people are going to be listening to it, like that you're gonna like be speaking to in your experience as you like what the fuck are people gonna be like? Oh yeah, this is what he's like. This impacted him, or this is like him.
Well, my relationship with how do I say this? With marijuana and, what I'm saying, certain types of, I wouldn't say abuse, but just usage, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
That's something
Hmm.
that I dive into a little bit.
Sure.
Um, Relationships a little bit, and I dive into that, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But for the most part, it's really just me trying to vibe with my audience. It's 7 songs of just pure, like, each song has a message, but the overall arcing message is just how America shaped the person I was made to be today.
Hmm.
So that's
Sure.
like the key point, and how
Yeah.
certain things in America, what I'm saying, attribute to that. So whether it's, the trap culture, or whether it's, drug culture, or anything, that's
Hmm.
all been that's all been a factor in my life. And
Hmm.
so I'm putting my experiences out there for people to vibe with and fuck with. So I just hope people fuck with it for real. And,
Yeah.
yeah,
No, definitely, dude. Definitely. I fucking know. Just it doesn't. I mean, yeah. As a musician, like I just want people to fucking enjoy it and like fucking like the way that I enjoy the musicians and music that I listen to. Like I just they would make me so happy to know that there's people out there that are like they listen to it on their playlist every fucking day when they wake
yeah,
up or whatever. However they're fucking whenever they're like, oh, this place, the fucking shit that I love. Like you hear a song when you're like you're going through some crazy shit and then like you don't listen to it for like years and then you listen to it again randomly one time and like, oh fuck yeah, I'm like the nostalgia fucking boner is just
yeah, man.
fucking going, dude. But and
I really made
all
this
that good stuff.
for people like me to relate to the
Hmm.
music. So in the music, I say some personal things, and I feel like a lot of people can relate to the experiences that I've gone through. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So just
Yeah.
because of how human each experience has been, you know.
Hmm.
So from a
Yeah.
human level, human
Yeah.
to human, you should be able to vibe with it. You should be able to relate, and you should be able to express yourself through the music. So yeah,
Right. Oh yeah. Yep. That all fucking that all sounds right to me. That all definitely sounds exactly it. Expressing yourself and being who you genuinely, authentically are, and going through the process of finding yourself, I guess, through expressing yourself and the trials and tribulations and the ups and downs and the fucking ebbs and flows of fucking life. Huh. This is like not really related, but it's just one of the questions that I like to ask people because I'm a very spiritual human being. But I guess especially yeah, you said you pray, so that, I mean I would imagine yes. But does God, Great Spirit, however you want to describe it, like play and have an influence on that like process for you of your creativity or just like it obviously your life, yeah, but like
for
yeah.
sure. I feel like making music is a spiritual journey. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Because music in itself is like a frequency that you have to agree with. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
I feel like that's in itself is spiritual in nature because
Hmm.
it's something that you as a person have to align yourself with. Well, not necessarily align yourself with, but you have to uh, not you have to like to vibe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's how I look at it.
No, definitely. Like sound, I think my shit, I would have to like go do some research and shit, but I feel like it can change your fucking DNA, man. It definitely changes your emotional state of just
Yeah,
what you hear. You fucking get scared from really loud sounds you're not expecting. Like you fucking hear something that's like really peaceful or like calming, that's like tuned to the right fucking frequency. It can fucking
hmm
like totally change your fucking mind state and what you're doing. So it's like it's fucking magic. And there was this guy I worked with. Oh my god, fucking I don't even know how long ago. Maybe fuck a decade ish plus, maybe almost. But this guy who like totally like rocker. I mean, he's not. He was. This was back in New York, but he was fucking like imagining like this other guy that I worked with, a different cook because they were both cooks. That like he's thrasher, like heavier metal kind of like sounding. I imagine this kind of shit he liked based on what he would wear outside of work. But that like he had said something that I was just so profound that like really fucking like shook me, and I was just totally caught off guard. That like he said that music is the best invention, tool, technology we ever created as creatures on the earth. And I just was like, fuck, like, damn, I think he's right. Like, because the internet and is like this amazing communication skills, how we're speaking obviously right now,
hmm
but that like music transcends like it because it is like pure sound at the end of the day that like it transcends culture. Like you can listen to somebody on the other side of the world who like doesn't look anything like you, and if they play you a song that they wrote, it can still emotionally like
Connect
connect
with
with you,
you.
and you'd be like,
Yeah,
oh fuck, what the
yeah,
fuck, that was fucking, I'm
fire.
crying, that was so
Yeah,
beautiful, like what the fuck.
yeah. So that's why I said it's something that you gotta agree with. So, and you can agree
Yeah.
with it without like knowing the language, without really knowing the person, without
Hmm.
really knowing what they're talking about. It's the vibe. You know what I'm saying? If you fuck with the vibe, then
Hmm.
it's something that can actually change how you look at everything. You know,
Hmm.
if you're having a bad day, put on some Future. You know what I'm saying? You having That's what I do.
Yeah, dude.
That's what I do. So
Fuck. God damn, I can't remember the fucking dude's name. But the fuck, even the song NF maybe it might be. I fucking the journey or something. One of his songs where he's just fucking. He's like, "Hey Nate, how's life? Something." Right. I can't fucking. I just like.
yeah,
I'm terrible. I'm a terrible fan. I feel like I'm a terrible fan sometimes because I like. I don't listen to. I'll listen to like very specific songs because they like. I vibe with it. I fuck with it. I agree with it
yeah,
so much, and then like I will now listen to almost anything else they fucking put out,
yeah.
and then people way later will be like, what about this? And I'm like, the fuck is that? Like, I don't even know what that is. They're like,
Yeah.
the fuck's wrong with you? I'm like, I don't know, dude. It's weird.
I find myself falling to that the same way you do, man. I will pick and choose, cherry pick. I'll like listen to the whole album out front, and then probably pick like
Mm-hmm.
two or three songs that I'm vibing with, and just stay with those
Yep.
three songs. But those three songs,
Yeah.
I'll know them from like from heart.
By
Yeah,
heart.
by
Yep.
heart. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
That's exactly it. Yep.
Yeah, it's just what do you vibe with? You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna vibe with every song, and that's what helps me make music because sometimes I'll be making music and be like, man, nobody's gonna vibe to this, but
Mm,
you never know. You know what I'm saying? That might be the actual vibe that somebody needs in that moment, and just
mm,
because you
yeah.
feel like it's not good or it's corny or something like that, don't let that stop you from making the music that you want to make because one person might think it's corny, other might, make them cry because of how much they relate to it. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just,
That's a, that's such a fucking I don't know, not trap, but like that's such a weird thing. And maybe you can speak to this of just like how you fucking balance that thing of like I'm making this for myself, and if other people like it, that's fucking dope. And if they don't, and then like, but then I'm making this like maybe I get yeah. This is yeah, a fucking great thing to bring up now. Do you feel like you have a muse, or like, do you feel like if you're making something with someone else in mind, would you consider that a muse, or just like you're just speaking to that as like an avatar of like I hope like for example, this was one dude who I interviewed, a comedian, Mace fuck, I can't remember his last name right now, but he had basically like when he was writing jokes, he was like trying to write for like a really weird niche subculture of human beings. And so like do you feel like when you were finding that balance, like is that something you do? You're like I'm making this for this niche person or
yeah.
only for myself?
I don't necessarily feel like I'm rapping to one specific person.
Mm,
When I try to rap, I try to envision myself on stage. And
mm,
when I'm on stage, I don't want them to have a bad experience. So I
mm,
try to create music that I feel like I would have a good experience performing with the artist, if that makes
mm,
sense. You know?
sure.
So like my lead single is called Made in America 2 and
Mm.
or Made in America as well. But
Nice.
yeah, and that's one of the songs where, like, when you hear it, you can instantly pick up on it and sing it with me. And you might not, it might
Mm,
be the first time you even heard it, but it's like
mm,
so catchy and so memorable that once you hear it, you're gonna be like, oh, like I know what he's saying. I relate. That's something I vibe with. And then I feel like just having that mindset of wanting to connect with your audience in a live setting, not necessarily
mm,
connecting just based off what you say, but like of somebody actually being in the room, you know,
mm,
but
yeah.
like not necessarily putting like a limit on what their musical taste is. You know what I'm saying? Because some
Sure.
people, like, I don't necessarily like the biggest fan of country music, but there
Mm.
are some country songs that I think go like stupid crazy. You know what I'm saying? So everybody can like genres of music that
Right.
might not be their actual taste. So
Right.
it's all, to me. It's just, I say it over and over again, but it's all about the vibe. If you can find the frequency, if you can find like a flow state that people can agree with, people can rap back with you. It's
Mm.
that's that's all you can ask for at the end of the day.
That's it, dude. Yeah, dude. That's that. Fuck. That's all you can ask for. Oh man, that yeah, that's something I feel like I've been not struggling with, but like grappling, fighting, like just fucking like having to face this like elements of like if you're gonna go on tour, you gotta fucking like have shit you can perform live in front of people. Like that's
Yeah,
the whole fucking thing of touring. Like that's what you're doing. That's why we're here. Like
yeah,
make them feel, make them move. Whew, yeah, and there's this fucking shit, this thing that I like, fuck, like, quote unquote, am I good enough? That like,
Hmm.
it's fucking that it's just constantly like, because I feel like I'm gonna get to places and people are gonna be like, this guy's a fraud. He ain't real. What the fuck is he doing here up here in the fucking thing? What's he doing? Why is he doing it? Or fucking like just the fucking all the fucking self criticisms that I fucking like I guess got beat into me in childhood or just stay imprinted on me is
Yeah.
just like this thing. Oh man, dude, I don't know. Fuck. Oh, I just like I oh man, I hope one day I get over it. Fuck, man, I can fucking do it. I also like the hang up I have is like I also want to do stand up comedy and
Mhm.
also fucking like serve ayahuasca and do all like multiple things and not only just make music.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure if I'm funny enough and also like I'm like, all right, we're gonna go to the next song and it's just all like working itself out. But like yeah, that like fucking like oh god, I need to vomit up all these awful negative feelings so I fucking can feel good. Like I don't know, I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about at this point, but like do fucking like you ever deal with that shit where you fucking don't like who you are or like you don't feel like you're good enough and like what
Yeah.
do you fucking do? And you're like
When I do
fuck
that,
that like
I'm not gonna lie to you. That's when I smoke a blunt. I'm not gonna lie to you. There's never been a
valid.
time where I've been down, like not liked my creative direction or something. Smoke the blunt.
Mm.
Everything is just okay. You know what I'm saying? Everything is fine. I don't know if it's that California in me, that kickback. I don't know. Maybe they rubbed off on a nigga, but every time,
She.
every time I light up, you know what I'm saying? That shit
Mm.
that shit helps. That shit helps. It definitely helps. And another, I don't know, just realizing who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like positive affirmations. Like
Mm.
that's one way to boost that confidence. Just letting you know, just reminding yourself that you're that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Or you're that person. You're that rapper. You're that singer. You're that fucking painter. You're that fucking whatever you do. So
Mm.
you just have pride in what you do, and if you feel like you're doing the best that you can, I feel like that speaks through whatever you're doing. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? So
Yeah.
eventually somebody's gonna see that passion, see that drive, and they're gonna fuck with the vibe. So that's that's how I see it. So you can't get discouraged off of the couple people that don't see the vision. You gotta
Mm.
search for the people that do see the vision. And you know,
Yeah. Yep. You get more help from complete strangers who like fuck with the vibe versus like people you know in your whole life who are just like, nah,
yeah,
I know you.
I
You're
know
not
you.
that guy.
Yeah,
And you're like, fuck you, do. You don't know me. You don't know what I got.
exactly.
Fucking A. You don't know what I've been cooking. I feel like that's some shit. Fucking heard Kanye say fucking on in an interview or somewhere at some point that like you don't know what I got in my basement or like
You ain't got the
the shit I
answers,
got
Sway.
ready to go. Yeah,
You ain't
dude.
got the
Fucking
answers, Sway. That shit funny.
fucking A, dude. Um, I guess this is just fucking randomly came up because of the fucking tangent of bringing up fucking Kanye, I guess. But who do you feel like was a like big influence on you growing up besides like the choral music or the gospel music, or like musically and just in general like role models or people you just looked up to. But then yeah.
My favorite rapper is Drake, but
Mhm.
my second favorite rapper, I know,
No,
don't
I
get
was
on me
like
like that.
fucking right, fucking
I
was
don't
it
I don't
not
want to go. I
not
don't.
divisive, but
Yeah, it's pretty divisive, but I don't want to break it
yeah.
down why I think he is because
Mhm.
I got like receipts. You know what I'm saying? There's no way. There's no. I argue with my
Well,
little
so I'll
cousin all
just
the time. So
I'll say this. It's this thing of like separate the art from the artist. Like I mean, before the whole fucking like giant fucking L he took from fucking Kendrick that
yeah,
like and like got exposed or what have you for fucking having to be in the Illuminati or being raised famous and getting fucked up and being that way. That like there were songs I fucking listened to and loved, so like I fucking get it, bro. Like
yeah,
it's just like I
man,
don't really do it any like listen to it or whatever, but like it's just fucking if you like him, and there's who am I to judge? Who am
yeah.
I to judge?
All I gotta say is a lot of people don't put context to the battle. Like it was just Kendrick and Drake. Like it was a lot of niggas versus one nigga. But and he held his own. That's personally why he's one of my favorite. But my second favorite, which is probably my biggest influence, is Young
Mhm.
Dolph.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. So Young Dolph is probably my biggest influence. When I listen to Young Dolph, it literally makes me feel like a superhero. Like I feel like I could do
Mhm.
anything. Like I feel like a super trapper. I'm moving bricks, nigga. That's what it feels like. Obviously, I'm not, but
Right, right, right. For
yeah,
fucking for legal
for
reasons,
legal reasons, exactly,
we're
exactly.
definitely not doing that.
Yeah, yeah. In GTA,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
In the
In the
game,
game,
yeah. In the
officer, in the
game,
game.
in the game. I feel like I'm moving bricks. John
Oh,
Gotti.
dude, that's goddamn, bro.
Yeah,
Fucking a. What the fuck? Pablo Escobar shit
yeah.
level shit. But yeah, dude, fucking a. Shit. Let's see where we're at. We got a good another chunk of time here. I'm just trying to like, not trying to like drag it out unnecessarily, but I'm just trying to like think of some shit. I get this is just not super duper related at all, but just fucking moving along, I guess. What are your thoughts, feelings? Do you use AI as a tool in your art, or like how do you
That's
think,
a good
feel?
question. That's a good question. I don't use AI for my thoughts. You know what I'm saying? The thoughts that I'm putting down on paper because I
Mm-hmm.
don't feel like AI can match my vibe yet. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Sure.
if you like put in like AI bars or something, I don't think they're
Mm-hmm.
gonna connect the same way as if you came up with them off the top of your head. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because they
Yeah.
don't really know like cadence, they don't know relevancy, they don't know a lot of things. So there's a lot of things that you come up with on the fly that's gonna be way better than AI. But saying
Mm-hmm.
that, any like video content, any like social media content, I do use
Yeah.
AI. I'm not gonna lie. Because video content is just so hard
Yeah.
to come up with and AI just simplifies it. So like if it's writing a script for AI through AI,
Mm-hmm.
for like a music video, I'll you know what I'm saying, type in what I
Mm-hmm.
already have and they'll give me a 10-page like breakdown of what I need to do, how much it's gonna cost, like everything I need. So that's one thing I would say AI does really good is video content and social media content. It'll definitely create scripts for you, and it'll definitely create videos. So like Google VEO, I think that's what it's called. Google VEO.
Mm-hmm.
That's I've been experimenting with that, and you can literally create like mini movies with it. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not movie quality yet, but in maybe 2 to 3 years, it's gonna be there. So
Sure.
that's definitely something. If you want visuals for your music, I wouldn't use it in the music.
Mm-hmm.
Not yet. I wouldn't say ever really, but you know, some people like I've heard AI songs that sound good,
Mm-hmm.
but at the end of the day, it's still like kind of frowned on in the music community for sure. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I wouldn't use it unless you're using it for visuals or for social
Sure.
media content. So
Okay. Yeah. No, no, that makes sense. I just like to get other people's perspective on it. It's
mhm.
just kind of putting the fucking this is what we're doing here. Is what we're doing. Fucking like this is how you feel. And this is what I want people to see. And that's part of it is then this disruptive technology is coming in and changing the landscape and lowering the bar for entry for people, and I think that's why some people who say that it's not are just kind of like frustrated about it or just like you're fake. I just like you definitely should have to like say that you made any type of shit with it if you did do it.
Yeah,
Just to be disingenuous and not say that you did is the whole like thing, and the ethical dilemma of the people who are creating the technology are doing the stereotypical Silicon Valley thing where they're just like literally just stealing other people's shit and using it in their models, which is like so fucked up and
yeah,
should be fucking a crime. And this is a fuck, damn. I like we're getting to the end, and I want to like wrap it up, but this tangent is so fucking good that like this comedian who I was talking to said that there's some fucking court case where like some person like was talking to a chatbot that had was using its AI chatbot, and the fucking thing like told him to unalived himself, and then fucking did, and the in the court of law they're trying to argue that like the AI has free will and like shouldn't be held like legally responsible, which is such a weird like cop out, and I don't fucking agree with that. That's just such a like skeevy like legalese avoiding tactic of just like nah, it wasn't our responsibility to make sure that the thing that we created wouldn't fucking tell somebody to do that, and they would be in a weak or like vulnerable enough emotional state to actually fucking like follow through. Like nah, we're not responsible. Like God damn it,
Yeah.
bro. Like can't you just take a little responsibility? What the fuck?
Yeah, I get that. That's definitely like a tricky subject. I've never really thought about it in that capacity, but like
Mm.
if it did, I feel like the people who programmed it would be responsible for it. Like that just seems
Yeah,
like common sense.
yeah, exactly. Like, what the fuck? Like, just lawyers just trying to be like, we could make the argument, we could try, but
Yeah.
like, some fucking old ass lawyer who fucking does never used AI in their life is gonna fucking go over that case and be like, yeah, you're right. That AI had free will and is fucking
Yeah.
like not responsible. Like, good fucking
Yeah.
luck, guy. Like, yeah, right. Whatever the fucking. I just wonder what the legal precedent is, but it's fucking trying to wrap this fucker up, wrap this show up. So the final question, and then after that, definitely, the fuck off, fell in my pocket. Definitely after you answer the question, please go into where people can find you, what they can fucking find when they get there, and how they can connect with you, and like fucking. You don't have show dates, but if you did, you'd say that shit too. But the final question is that like if knock on wood or whatever the fuck that this wasn't gonna happen, but if when I hit the stop recording button, we were both to like die, basically pass away, that like what nugget of wisdom, piece of life advice that you feel is like so fundamentally important or crucial to your like journey would you want to be like the like 60-second like blurb that people got from the episode, like hey, like people like this is so fucking important, take this with you, and if it was like everyone was gonna see it, like what the fuck would you want to share?
Um, I'll share this. There's a time and place for everything. So you might not think there is a time or a place for what you want to do in life, but I promise you there is. There is a time and place for everything. It might not be right now, it might not be next week, but there is a time and place for everything. Your time to shine definitely will come. All you have to do is put in the work and make sure when it's your time that you're ready for it. You're ready for that opportunity. So, yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. I'll just share the two things that what you had jogged my memory earlier, and then this is like related to the time will come. That like this is both of these ideas came from the fucking I don't think it's the Rose Bowl, the stadium speech by Les Brown. That I'm the one to make this happen. I'm the one to like make my dreams come true, which is not verbatim. And then it's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have an opportunity and not be prepared.
Mm,
So
yeah.
people take that shit with you when you're fucking finishing up this fucking podcast and into the rest of your fucking existences in your life after you pass away, whatever the fuck. So true JD, fucking let the people know if there's shout outs you want to do, Instagram,
All
whatever,
right,
however,
yeah,
just let the people know.
My Instagram, Twitch, Facebook is all true underscore or TRU underscore JDN. And then my Apple Music and Spotify is TRU underscore JD.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. Keep it short and sweet to the
Yes,
point.
sir.
So I will fucking wrap it up, say the last blurb, and then we're done for done, people. So I guess smile more, complain less, never ever give up until you discern for your darndest best. Namaste. Have a great day. Sloth shoot if it's nighttime soon. Like, share, comment, subscribe to keep the algorithm satisfied. And if I don't see you while I'm alive, I'll catch you on the flip side after I die, people. Mahalo, I love you. Get the fuck out of here. Go fucking chase your dreams. I appreciate you so much for your time and attention and fucking bow bow bow, the fucking play out music that I don't
Pew,
have, all
pew,
that shit.
pew. Yeah.
Bye. Bye bye bye.